It's Thursday, and you know what that means? One Piece chapter drops, and it's 10:81. So I'm not at my usual place at my home with the red, the blue, the green, and the other colored LED lights. Instead, I'm here at beautiful Potuakhali, as you can see here. So I'm at my in-laws' house. So we're here, me and my wife, to celebrate our Eid ul-Fitr vacation. So this is a very special review of One Piece chapter 1081, the latest One Piece chapter that dropped. So instead of a proper review, so normally I don't actually do reviews, I do live streams of the chapter as it comes out. But I was thinking that this time I won't be able to do it because we're here at our vacation, during our vacation, Eid vacation. But I thought, hey, what if I do a live? Well, normally I do live, but what if I do an unscripted and review, just talking about the chapter, my actual thoughts that after just reading the chapter out here live outside. So yeah, I'm at my roof, the roof of the house. So yeah, let's get started. First of all, Garp, Monkey D. Garp. If you don't know, Garp is one of my favorite characters in all of One Piece. He's actually my third favorite. So after Luffy and Zoro, Garp, that's the man. So, oh my gosh, we got the beginning of the chapter with Garp saying, oh, he's got so weak. What? I'm like, oh my gosh, how strong were you before this? Like, you can go toe to toe with an admiral, and not only go toe to toe with an admiral Aokiji, probably one of the two strongest admirals we've ever gotten. Like maybe the strongest is Akainu now, and Akainu couldn't defeat Aokiji in less than 7 days, and that too after a very strong fight, a very difficult fight. And Garp, you went toe to toe. We are going not only going toe to toe, but you are actually beating Aokiji Kuzan, and now you're saying that you've got so weak. Oh my gosh, it's a hype overload. And Aokiji Kuzan, most theorists out there, most One Piece YouTubers, they were of the opinion that Aokiji Kuzan, that you were not actually a quote unquote, like you are not really a Blackbeard member. Like many people were thinking that you were the 10th Titanic captain, as it turned out that you were. But to actually be a Blackbeard guy, to actually be a Blackbeard 10th commander, and not like being a spy or not like being a temporary member, but actually be a Blackbeard guy and supporting Blackbeard being free. Oh my gosh. So actually I did think that something like this would happen. Like Oda is Oda, he goes against the grain. Most people, what they think, that doesn't actually happen, and sometimes people go overboard with their theories, but then Oda chooses the simplest route. But for some reason, this simple route, this quote unquote simple route of Kuzan not actually being a Blackbeard member, a Blackbeard pirate member, but just sticking to the Blackbeard pirates for some ulterior motive, like being a part of the revolutionaries or being a part of Sword. Well, that seemed a little bit too simple for me. Even though One Piece is simple, as I said, in its storylines and its deep, like of course there are very deep storylines, but for many of so-called for most of these types of storylines where some people are in an organization but they are actually a part of another, mostly what happens is that Aokiji Kuzan, the average reader and even the hardcore reader would say that Kuzan would actually turn out to be a quote unquote good guy, right? So maybe he will, maybe he saw him after getting some of his teeth knocked out by Garp after being into the blue hole, he will come back to his senses. But for now, at least, he is a true bona fide bad guy. Oh my gosh, who would have thought that Kuzan would be the last bastion of hope, of defense of the Blackbeard pirates against a big named Navy guy or another hero, right? Or maybe the Straw Hats. Oh my gosh, like Kuzan is defending the Blackbeard pirates like it's his last mission. Oh my gosh, and I do really love how this was portrayed in the manga. Like Kuzan saying that no, he hasn't turned completely bad, or it's also not the case that Blackbeard overpowered Kuzan to make him join the Blackbeard pirates, because as you know, maybe you don't know, but I'm a big admiral guy. I think that admirals are maybe as almost as strong as the Yonko, if not maybe even stronger than some of them, like of course Buggy and even Blackbeard. So unlike most of you guys, maybe probably, I don't think that Blackbeard is strong on his own, but then of course he has some techniques, he has some other, like maybe plot points or maybe other powers that we haven't seen. For some reason he does come out the victor. For example, he's got Shanks. He like but besides that, I don't think that he is strong one on one. Like it says, like people say that one on one, always bet on Kaido. Like Kaido probably is the number one guy, maybe in the top three at least. Shanks probably is in the norm, is most people's number one, top one. But I never thought that Blackbeard would be even in the top five. Okay, so I think that yes, he could probably, theoretically, he may be actually be able to defeat Shanks, but not through fair means, not through like normal could, like normal one-on-one fight. Maybe for some other reason, not only because of his pirate members, but maybe it's a fair one-on-one fight. But he will not be able to defeat Shanks just like toe to toe, like Zoro does the swordsman fights. So anyway, I really very much enjoyed the way that it turned out, that Blackbeard was actually scared of Kuzan, and then he was saying, no, Kuzan. That's one of my crewmates, that's some of my crewmates, but I don't want to deal with you. I want you to, what about, say, propose that you join my crew. And then Kuzan, of course, he did what everyone else, every sane person would do, like say, just because I drank with you doesn't mean that I will join your crew. But then, after Blackbeard said something about freedom, like the first things that Blackbeard said, one of the first things was that about freedom, about dreams being real, right? So it very much fits his character as well. It's not like he pulled out of his ASS. So it's not something like that. It goes with his character. I very much enjoyed how this turned out, how this was portrayed in the recent chapter of the manga. So yeah, so Kuzan on his own, I think, could defeat the entire Blackbeard pirates. So yeah, he's stronger than all of them combined. Not only just Blackbeard, but all of them combined. So it reminds me of actually Magellan, Magellan in Impel Down. He thrashed the entire Blackbeard crew, like in what, in one in one attack. So it reminds me of that. I think that Kuzan was definitely capable of doing that, of freezing every single one. So he did actually do that, with the exception of Blackbeard. I think also Vasco shot and another person, right? Another Blackbeard crew member. They were outside. And yeah, I very much loved it. And also the Akainu wank, like indirectly, not even indirectly, but yeah, very commonsensically, just because Aokiji was portrayed so in such a good light, Akainu automatically gets a buff. And you know who else gets a buff even more than Akainu? Garp, Monkey D. Garp. Oh my gosh, like even Kuzan was saying that, why are you holding back, old man? You should be resolved to fight me. You shouldn't think about like me being your first student, and to protect your favorite student, that being Kobe, you can't defeat, you can't kill your first student. Oh my gosh. So Kuzan Aokiji was actually the first student of Monkey D. Garp. Oh my gosh, the hype for Garp, man. And then what does he do? What does Garp do? He breaks out of that ice ball and then hits Aokiji with the blue hole. The blue pheasant Aokiji with the blue hole. Hype, man, hype. So at the end of the chapter, we saw that the law pirates, the hard pirates are defeated soundly, quote unquote, soundly by the Blackbeard pirates, but Law is alive. So yeah, it's not the darkest path that One Piece could have taken, that Oda could have taken, was that Blackbeard suddenly saying room, right? So he didn't do that, but still, I very much liked that. Like, it was a sound defeat. Not exactly like how Kid was defeated by Shanks that soundly, but I did very much like it, because I do like Law a whole lot more than I like Kid. And Blackbeard and Shanks, even though maybe Blackbeard can defeat Shanks, I don't think that Blackbeard is like as much of a one-on-one dominant force like Shanks, right? So at the end, Bepo, he turned into Sulang by by actually using a rumble ball. So that probably gives us some clue as to how rumble balls work. So I consider Sulong transformations as one kind of awakening. Like if the Mink tribe can actually hold their own and actually are trained enough, have done training enough to take in the moon's power, the luminescence of a full moon, and then transform into like what an awakened Zoan user, right? Then that is also one part of their awakening. Maybe that is their actual true awakening. So Chopper, when he turned into especially the monster point by using the rumble ball, that is his awakening, I think. And even though he doesn't have the flame clouds, right, that Yamato has, that Kaku has, that Lucci has, I don't think that not all Zoan devil fruit users awaken like that. Maybe it's the full awakening part, like getting their mind and their body and the soul in one synchronization, something like that. So Chopper didn't do that. Bepo didn't do that. Also, he didn't have flame clouds, but his Sulong form. Oh my gosh! The first time I saw it, and then the Law Pirates, one of them was, I mean, the Blackbeard pirates, one of them was saying, "There's no full moon." I was thinking, "Oh my gosh, is Bepo special?" But then I realized, no. In a very very small panel, it was said that, oh, Chopper was actually in a flashback of Beppo was thinking of Chopper. He was saying that, hey, I can't promise you that it will work, but then yeah, he did give the rumble ball, and Beppo saved Law. But I'm not sure if the other Law pirates, the other heart pirates, are also alive, because we didn't see them, right? But Beppo also said that he is not going to let any of the heart pirates die. So does that mean that he's going to save everyone? Well, I would have wanted actually most of them to die, even Law, even though that would be very tragic. I would be very, very sad. But still, I like dark plots, and if this plot turns out that Beppo saves everyone, I'm not going to like that. I hope that at least the other pirates like Shachi, Penguin, and the other heart pirates, they die, and Beppo is only about able to save Law. Maybe he himself dies, right? So yeah, that'll do it for this, like, not a review but the immediate thoughts after reading the chapter. So as you can see, maybe you can see I'm drenched in sweat. So yeah,